Have you ever paused and asked yourself what it truly means to live fully when life throws challenges your way? When you are diagnosed with a chronic illness like CKD, that question shifts from a philosophical thought to an urgent, pressing reality. Each moment becomes precious, and every choice carries weight, as if the balance of your future rests delicately in the decisions you make today. Among the most pivotal decisions is choosing the right dialysis method, a choice that shapes not only your health, but the rhythm of your daily life, your independence, and the quality of the moments you hold dear. Hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, though both life-saving, present profoundly different experiences, routines, and demands. Some see one as more convenient, others as more effective. Yet the truth is that the right path is deeply personal, grounded not in statistics alone, but in understanding how each option interacts with your body, your mind, and your spirit. In the quiet reflection that often follows a life-changing diagnosis, it is natural to feel overwhelmed, to wonder whether you can navigate the medical maze while maintaining your sense of self and purpose. Yet within this challenge lies an invitation to awaken a deeper awareness of your own resilience, your capacity for informed decision-making, and your ability to transform constraints into opportunities. It is here, in this delicate intersection between necessity and choice, that the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir become profoundly relevant. He reminds us that knowledge is not merely information, but the foundation of empowerment. Understanding how dialysis affects your body, your energy, your schedule, and your emotional well-being is not a matter of passive reception, but of active engagement. This engagement turns anxiety into clarity, fear into informed confidence, and uncertainty into a roadmap for living fully despite limitations. As you explore the differences between hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, consider not only the clinical implications, but also the lifestyle nuances, the time spent in a clinic versus at home, the freedom to travel, the impact on work and social life, and the emotional rhythms of being tethered to a machine or integrating treatment into the sanctuary of your home. Every detail matters, for it is in these details that the shape of your life unfolds, quietly yet profoundly, influencing how you wake each morning, how you face the world, and how you nurture your sense of purpose. Yet the weight of choice can also evoke doubt. What if I choose wrong? What if one path limits me more than I can endure? These fears are natural, but they need not paralyze. They are, in fact, a signal that you are stepping into the realm of responsibility over your own health, a sacred responsibility that demands both courage and clarity. The suspense of not knowing, the tension between options, the unseen future, all contribute to a quiet drama that unfolds within the heart of every patient navigating CKD. And it is precisely within this suspense that growth occurs. By approaching the decision with mindfulness, research, consultation with trusted healthcare professionals, and reflection on your personal priorities, you begin to convert uncertainty into strategy, hesitation into deliberate action. Imagine, for a moment, the life you desire. Not merely surviving each day, but living it with intention, purpose, and dignity. It is possible to align medical decisions with this vision, to weave treatment seamlessly into your broader aspirations, and to claim agency over a situation that may initially feel overwhelming. Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches that empowerment comes not from avoiding challenges, but from engaging them with awareness and determination. As you embark on the journey of choosing between hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, remember that each choice is an opportunity to define your own path, to embrace resilience, and to live with the knowledge that even in circumstances that demand dependence on medical technology, the human spirit remains fiercely independent, adaptable, and capable of finding meaning and satisfaction in every small victory. As you move deeper into this journey of understanding dialysis, the reality of choice becomes even more tangible, and the suspense of uncertainty grows. It is in this tension that true clarity begins to form, as you confront the delicate balance between medical necessity and personal freedom, between survival and thriving. Hemodialysis, with its regimented schedule, the rhythmic hum of machines, and the clinical environment of a dialysis center, offers safety, precision, and consistent monitoring, yet it also imposes structure that can feel confining. Peritoneal dialysis, in contrast, offers flexibility and the comfort of home, but it asks for responsibility, vigilance, and a level of self-discipline that can be both empowering and intimidating. In these contrasts, the essence of human choice emerges. No option is perfect, no path without sacrifice, yet every decision holds the potential to align with your values, your lifestyle, and the life you envision for yourself. The moment of suspense lies not in the technicalities of dialysis, but in confronting your own willingness to adapt, to learn, and to embrace the challenges that each method presents. Here, the philosophical undercurrent becomes essential. Life, even in its fragility, calls us to responsibility, and responsibility transforms fear into mastery. Imagine for a moment the silent hours of contemplation that precede a treatment. The quiet realization that your decisions now shape your energy, your relationships, and your capacity to pursue the joys that once seemed ordinary. In these reflections, you recognize the profound truth that health is not merely the absence of disease, but the orchestration of choices that support vitality, dignity, and purpose. The teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir resonate here deeply, for he emphasizes that education is the cornerstone of empowerment. Knowing the physiological, emotional, and lifestyle implications of each dialysis method allows you to reclaim agency over what might otherwise feel like a life dictated by circumstance. Yet even with knowledge, the suspense lingers. The fear of complications, the uncertainty of long-term outcomes, and the invisible challenges that may arise as your body responds to treatment. This tension is not a weakness, but a sacred signal of growth, for within it lies the opportunity to cultivate resilience, mindfulness, and foresight. Consider then how each choice will integrate into the rhythm of your days, the patterns of your week, and the broader arc of your life. Will you embrace the structured security of hemodialysis, finding comfort in routine, in the presence of healthcare professionals, and in the predictable monitoring of your progress? Or will you step into the autonomy of peritoneal dialysis, embracing self-reliance, flexibility, and the intimate knowledge of your own body's response to treatment? Neither choice is a simple answer, and this is where the philosophical insight becomes vital. Life does not present perfect solutions, only deliberate choices that require courage, reflection, and honesty. In navigating these waters, you begin to notice subtle shifts in your perception. The awareness that every small decision, how you schedule your treatments, how you manage nutrition, how you approach rest, how you maintain emotional balance, accumulates into a larger narrative of self-determination. The suspense heightens because this narrative is uniquely yours. No one else can walk it in exactly the same way. Here, the words of Dr. Mathew R. Weir take on profound meaning, reminding us that empowerment is inseparable from knowledge, reflection, and the willingness to act with intention. Every moment of doubt, every question that arises about which path is better, is an invitation to engage more deeply with yourself, to weigh your priorities, and to recognize the strength you already possess. Life with CKD, like life itself, is unpredictable, filled with challenges that may feel overwhelming at times. Yet it is also filled with opportunity, insight, and the quiet power of perseverance. When you step into this space, suspending judgment, embracing inquiry, and holding the tension of uncertainty without fear, you discover a profound truth. That you're not defined by your disease, your treatment, or your limitations, but by your capacity to make conscious choices, to align action with values, and to live fully in the moments you are given. The suspense, the uncertainty, and the questions are not obstacles to happiness or health. They are the very catalysts that awaken resilience, courage, and insight. By engaging with them intentionally, by educating yourself thoroughly about hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis, and by reflecting honestly on what your body, mind, and spirit need, you begin to step into a life where medical necessity and personal fulfillment coexist, where treatment becomes part of your empowerment rather than a source of fear, and where each day carries meaning, purpose, and a sense of agency that no diagnosis can take away. As you stand at the crossroads of decision, with hemodialysis on one side and peritoneal dialysis on the other, it becomes clear that the path you choose is far more than a medical necessity. It is a declaration of your intent to live deliberately, with awareness and courage. Life, particularly when shaped by chronic conditions such as CKD, does not offer simple answers or flawless outcomes. Instead, it presents choices that demand reflection, self-knowledge, and the willingness to navigate uncertainty with grace. In this context, the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir provide a luminous guide, reminding us that knowledge paired with conscious decision-making transforms anxiety into empowerment. It is not merely the physical process of dialysis that matters, but the philosophy with which you approach it, the mindset that shapes your experience, and the values that guide your daily actions. Consider the moments when you feel constrained, when the demands of treatment threaten to overshadow your life's passions, and recognize that these moments are invitations to cultivate resilience, patience, and self-compassion. The choice between hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis is not a question of right or wrong, but a question of alignment. Which method integrates seamlessly with your life, honors your priorities, and allows you to maintain dignity and autonomy while attending to your health? In embracing this question, you realize that empowerment is not the absence of difficulty, but the mastery of perspective. The suspense that once felt heavy begins to transform into a quiet, clarifying tension, the kind that sharpens judgment, refines insight, and illuminates the path forward. Each step, each decision, each reflection becomes an act of self-affirmation, a testament to the capacity of the human spirit to navigate challenge with courage and intelligence. You begin to notice the subtle victories, the mornings when you wake, feeling capable and informed, the moments of connection with loved ones unshadowed by fear, the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are acting in alignment with your best understanding of your needs and circumstances. In this, life reveals a deeper truth, that even within constraint, within the structured routines of treatment, there exists freedom. The freedom of awareness, the freedom of intentional action, and the freedom of perspective. Hemodialysis may offer predictability and professional supervision, yet peritoneal dialysis may provide flexibility and autonomy. Each carries its own lessons in patience, discipline, and resilience. By approaching these lessons with curiosity rather than resistance, you transform what could be perceived as limitation into opportunity, shaping a life where medical intervention supports rather than restricts your journey. Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches that empowerment comes from embracing knowledge, applying it with discernment, and cultivating a mindset that sees beyond immediate challenges to the broader landscape of possibility. This approach turns uncertainty into insight, treatment into agency, and routine into a framework for thriving. As you reflect on your personal priorities, your relationships, your ambitions, your capacity for joy, you begin to understand that dialysis, though necessary, need not define the limits of your existence. Rather, it becomes a partner in a life lived with intentionality, where each decision reinforces your resilience, strengthens your clarity, and affirms your commitment to self-care and purpose. The suspense and tension that once accompanied the decision do not vanish. Instead, they evolve into a guiding force, keeping you mindful, vigilant, and engaged in the continuous process of living fully, regardless of circumstances. By integrating this awareness into daily life, you can experience treatment not as an imposition, but as a deliberate act of self-preservation, a conscious investment in your future health and well-being. Ultimately, the journey of navigating CKD and choosing the right dialysis method mirrors the broader journey of life itself, fraught with uncertainty, shaped by challenges, yet rich with opportunity for growth, insight, and fulfillment. Each choice, each reflection, each moment of deliberate action becomes a thread in the tapestry of your life, a testament to your courage, wisdom, and resilience. By educating yourself, considering your values, and embracing the lessons embedded within the experience, you claim authority over your path, aligning treatment with the life you wish to lead. Life's true empowerment comes from this alignment, from knowing, reflecting, and acting with intention. And so, as you step forward, remember that no circumstance, no diagnosis, and no treatment schedule can diminish your capacity to live meaningfully, to nurture your spirit, and to create a life imbued with purpose, dignity, and hope. If you're benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.